All right, everyone, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about the massive digital revolution that's completely reshaping healthcare as we know it in Indonesia. We're going to break down the skills that every single health professional now needs to master just to keep up.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you actually ready for this? Because this isn't something that's coming in the future. Nope, it's already here, and it demands a completely new set of tools in your professional toolkit. You know, there's no going back. We are smack in the middle of the digital era of healthcare. And what that means is that the old ways of doing things are getting a major upgrade, which, yeah, creates new challenges, but also some incredible new opportunities for anyone who's ready for them.
And here's the thing you've got to understand. The very definition of what healthcare is has gotten bigger. It's not just about medicine and treating patients anymore. Now it's about understanding data, using technology, and building connections online. It's a huge shift, and it makes having these new skills an absolute must-have.
So, with this massive change happening all over the world, people started asking, okay, so what skills actually matter now? To get an answer, the World Health Organization stepped up. They created a standardized framework to act as a sort of global benchmark for everybody working in healthcare. And what they came up with is actually pretty straightforward. The whole framework is built around 5 core domains. Think of them as the 5 essential pillars that hold up the entire practice of modern medicine.
And here they are. You've got health data literacy, cybersecurity, communication and collaboration, digital health tools, and telehealth. Together, these 5 make up the whole shebang. So let's dig into what each of these really means. First up, health data literacy. Honestly, this is the foundation for everything else in modern, evidence-based care. It's all about being able to look at data and not just see numbers, but to really get what it's telling you and how to use it the right way. And we're not just talking about glancing at a chart here. No, this is about knowing if the data you're looking at is even any good, understanding the basic stats behind a finding, and being able to picture complex information so you can make a quick, life-saving decision.
All right, let's move on to domain number 2, and this one is a biggie. Cybersecurity. I mean, think about it. As soon as we started putting sensitive patient info online, being able to protect it became a fundamental part of the job.
You know, this isn't just the IT department's problem anymore. Not by a long shot. Every single person in the healthcare system has to be a line of defense. That means spotting threats, guarding patient privacy, and knowing exactly what to do if and when something goes wrong.
Okay, so our third domain, it's all about how we work together and talk to each other now that everything's gone digital. These new tools have totally changed the game for teamwork and how we communicate with patients.
And look, this is way more than just knowing how to hop on a video call, right? It's about having good professional etiquette online, working well with your team even when you're not in the same room, and, this is a big one, learning how to manage that very real feeling of digital burnout.
Domain number 4 gets into the nitty-gritty, the actual tools of the trade. This is all about being able to confidently use the specific software and systems that you interact with every single day at work.
So we're talking about everything from electronic health records, EHRs, and hospital information systems, or HIS, all the way to the specific platforms we use for telemedicine. Being good at using these tools is what makes the whole digital system actually work.
And that leads us perfectly into our 5th and final domain, telehealth. Its growth has been absolutely explosive, and it's really changed how we deliver care. Being able to provide services remotely is now a core skill. Because think about it, giving high-quality care through a screen is a whole different ballgame. You've got to be a bit of a tech wizard with the equipment, but you also need new clinical skills for consulting, new ways to keep patients engaged, and super careful methods for documenting everything.
Okay, so having a global standard is great, but here's the catch. Healthcare is always local. So the big question is, how does Indonesia take these global ideas and make them work for its own unique situation? This is where it gets really interesting.
Well, what Indonesia's National Professional Certification Agency, the BNSP, has done is pretty smart. They've taken that global blueprint and tailored it. You can see it right here. They've adapted it for the Indonesian system, used Bahasa Indonesia, focused on diseases that are common in our country, and built in Indonesia's specific data laws.
So, knowing what the standards are, that's step 1. But the next, and maybe most important question is, where do you stand? And how can you get your skills officially recognized?
And the good news is there's a clear path to follow. You can start right now with some self-assessment quizzes to see where you're at. Then you can move on to formal tests, put together a portfolio of your work, and finally, get an official certification that proves you know your stuff.
Let's just be crystal clear on this. Getting a handle on these 5 digital skills, it's not a nice to have anymore. It's not an option for getting ahead. For anyone in healthcare today, it is an absolute necessity, both for your career and for giving patients the best care possible.
So as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Take another look at those 5 domains we talked about. Which one are you going to focus on first to make sure you're ready for what's next in healthcare?